Started streaming. What's up, everyone? I'm here on a Wednesday. Why am I here on a Wednesday? Because I was in Germany and I just got back. I haven't done a live stream in almost 2 weeks. We're going to do a special thing today. First thing we're going to do is I'm not going to be telling you about any gigs because I don't have any gigs planned. Right? So, and we're going to talk some about a perfect cover song. This is one of my favorite covers of a song, but it's a cover of a song with the band and the person that wrote it playing in the live version. And I'm going to do an analysis on it because I think it's an amazing, amazing melody. And I'm going to talk about why it's an amazing melody. Somebody says, is this live? Of course it is. I'm running my sale of my bundle through the weekend. The sale had stopped the other day. It's starting up right now. I just started it up again, and it's going to go for the next, through the weekend, actually. And $99 for all 4 of my courses. My Beato Book Interactive, which is my music theory course, video course. And then there's my ear training course, Beato Ear Training. Quick Lessons Pro, which is more of an advanced course. And, of course, I have my beginner guitar, where you're going to learn some of the chords in this song. Although there may be a couple new chords, actually, because this song starts actually on a little G sus2. It's got some unusual chords, even though it's a very simple song. And I'm actually, somebody says define a perfect song. A perfect song is a song that has perfect lyrics and a perfect melody, okay? And the thing about the melody of this is the shape of the melody. It's the note choices and the shape of the intervals. And the person singing it kills it. Okay, so I'm going to bring up the player here. I'm going to play the song, and then we're going to talk about what makes this song great and what makes this cover a perfect cover. So I'm on the new OS here. Hopefully everything works. I've got this right in my face here. I'll sit right here, and we're going to enjoy it together. Check it out.
So we play one of those hit singles from the 80s that we had.
One of those hit singles from the 80s.
And this one's I really do feel close to this song, but I'll tell you, you've never heard it till you hear Eddie Vedder sing it, so I thought maybe Eddie would come out.
This is amazing. So Eddie comes out to sing this, and he just kills it. I'm just going to say right now, if you're playing along, this is tuned down a half step, and I'm going to talk about it as if it's in G, as if the first chord is a G, even though it's G flat, okay? And when we do the analysis. Right here, listen.
You take it on faith, you take it to the heart. The waiting is the hardest part.
Okay. I want to talk about the melody here, and we're going to actually bring up the melody and talk about why this is so great. Okay, so the song starts out here, okay, with these the chords here. So you see this G sus2, D add 4 over F sharp. So you have this really beautiful. You got G sus2 that he picks through, then he goes D add 4, And this dissonance here, he plays the low G or low F sharp and the high G. That flat 9 sound is beautiful. And then he goes on A sus. Then he goes up D sus4, A sus4, D sus4. It's all sus chords. Sus2 chord, D add 4 of F sharp, A sus2, or A sus4, D sus4. And then okay, then I want to talk about the melody here, though, because this melody is a perfect, perfect melody. Let's see how we do this here. So he's going like, actually, let me play it. See if I can put both on the screen here. Wow. I think I can kind of do this here like this. Let's see if I play this here. That's the picking part there with those sus chords. You can hear them.
Oh, baby, gonna feel like heaven right now. Gonna feel like something from a dream.
Okay, that's a perfect, perfect A-B phrase right there. He starts on a da da. Oh, baby. He sings the fifth. Da, 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 da. Then on the G chord, do do do, to the fifth of the D chord, and he goes to the straight chords in this section instead of the sus chords, right? So he's going. Check this out. Bring him back on. I love that. I never know something quite like this. Beautiful. I never know something quite like this. And then we go to B minor. So we're just using A, G, D. And then the pre-chorus is B minor to A over B. I'm actually going to take these off the screen so you can see the chords. Because this B minor is like this. So the verse. Beautiful. Let's listen. Continue on here. Perfect. Check out the shape of the melody when it gets to the chorus. Beautiful. You hear that? When he goes, we know, it goes that sharp right down to that ninth there on that chord. It's beautiful on the G chord there. And then he goes to this build up on A.
Tell me about this, I said, yeah, 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 the waiting is the hardest part every day.
Okay, so here he's going. You can hear he's playing that F sharp sometimes, Tom, but he's got those dissonant notes. Yeah, waiting is the hardest part. Okay, what's so interesting about this is the range of the melody. Let's take a look at this in the chorus. This is what is so great about this. Let's listen to it again. Hear that sharp 4 every time. Love it. Yeah, 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 na, 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 na. It's a perfect lead in here. Let me go to this next page here. So he goes, yeah, 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 yeah. Right here, this section here. Oh, the waiting. He goes from the third here to the ninth, right? Waiting is the hardest part. And that ninth on the G chord, the waiting, it's actually goes to the fifth of the D chord there, D over F sharp. Waiting is the hardest part. It's a perfect phrase, right? And then every day, see you one more card. Perfectly balanced set of phrases here. I have to actually move it here. Okay, let me play the music here. One more card. And then we start to build to the highest note in the song. Listen. You take it on faith. Take it on faith. He goes to that ninth. You take it on faith. Beautiful, the ninth right there, right? It's a really powerful note using an upper extension. And then we flip pages to the next thing. Okay, this is where the song really kills. And then take it to the heart. Take it to the heart. He goes do 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 do. He goes down to the whoops, hold on. Down to the root here, right? And then this line right there. He goes the highest note in the song, that G. The waiting is the hardest part. And a perfect end of the phrase. Listen to this. Take it on faith, you take it to the heart. The waiting is the hardest part. And then they have that da 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 answer line that goes in there, and that answer line is what it's really perfect because the song ticks every box that you need to have. It has natural phrases. It goes to these, it has these dissonant notes. It's got these dissonant chords. And then all the phrases make perfect sense. And the highest note in the song is the hook. When he says the waiting, right? When he hits the actual title of the song, the waiting is the hardest part. And the absolutely perfect perfection. The weird thing about the song, though, is the verse is actually higher than the beginning of the chorus. Okay, so let's listen to the second verse. I'm just going to play it. Check this out. Yeah, I might have chased a couple women around. Oh, yeah, got me was down. Great fill. Man. Perfect phrase. This is how low it goes. And then the build. Here we go. And then we're to the bridge. I like that Tom's playing that. Tom's actually playing the same guitar that Jimmy Page used for Stairway to Heaven. I have one of those guitars. That's actually an original one. I have a Mexican version of it that I used in my Stairway to Heaven recreation video. That's that Fender guitar, probably from the 60s or so, that Tom is playing, and it just works perfectly for this, right? Now, when I say this is a perfect song, like every single part of this, right? The lyrics. So he goes, the waiting is the hardest part. Every day you see one more card. That is incredible. You take it on faith. You take it to the heart. The waiting is the hardest part. I mean, that is an incredibly good lyric. Tom Petty was a melodic and lyrical genius. His songs, he just knew how to create. So many of his songs are just 4-chord songs, right? Learning to Fly, Free Falling is pretty much a 3-chord song, but they're the perfect songs. There's always dissonances in them. The melodies, he always saves the high note in the song in the chorus, the highest note in the range of your melody. He does it on the hook. He does it here. He does it many, many times. It's to me, I actually heard him talk about this song, and he said that he had these chords for a long time, and he would just strum them over and over and over. And because they're so simple, you could do anything over them, right? So essentially just G, D, A, D. Did I just lose the stream here? Okay, we're back here. Why did... hold on here. Okay, so if you guys just lost the stream for a second, just refresh the stream. Just hit refresh and it'll come right back. I think this is one of the issues with having updated to the new OS here, which probably should never have been done here. Anyhow, I was saying how that Tom Petty uses a lot of suspended chords, okay? And then he'll sing the third against them, or he has these perfect melodies that use these chord tones and then these non-chord tones like that, this when he's going that sharp 4 on that G chord, right? Those extensions, because they, when I interviewed Sting, I called them haunting tones or surprise notes, right? And that's and I kept trying to find an analogy for Sting, why he always would go for those notes, and Joni Mitchell goes for those, and Paul McCartney and John Lennon go for those notes. Why do they go for those notes? Because they're outside of the chord. They want to find those notes that are strident with the chords to give them they're called color tones. I mean, this is like when I played, I remember playing jazz, people would call them color tones. Then my friend Danny would call them haunting tones. And you call them upper extensions. There are so many different names. Sting used surprise tones. But these upper extensions and things like this are really important to know. There's a wistfulness, Stephanie just said, to the tone. So how do you hear these things, right? Because this is really the thing. It's like, how do you hear notes? How do you hear these tones and know what they are? And how do you write things like this, right? This is why theory is important. In my show in Berlin, I talked about this. It's like I wrote a book initially, my Beato book, back in 1989 to use with my students. Because I didn't want to write the same things over and over. It'd be like, okay, here's a G major scale. It's whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. I don't want to write that a million times. So I start making these things. The circle of fifths, right? Here are the keys. And I had students that would come in that would know some stuff, but they wouldn't know that the key of G has one sharp and that sharp's F sharp. Or the key of B flat has two flats and is B flat and E flat, right? And this is how you derive scales. And that with each key, there's 7 chords, right? The key of G has the 1 chord is G major, the 2 chords A minor, 3 chords B minor, the 4 chords C major, 5 chords D major, 6 chord is E minor, 7 chord is F sharp diminished. Why is that important? Because it teaches you how to play along with things and figure out stuff quickly. When I'm playing this song and I have the chords A, G, D, okay, it's like, well, let me think about this. If you have 2 chords that are separated by a whole step, 2 major chords, which would be A and G. Did I just lose my stream again? If you have 2 chords that are separated by a whole step, so A and G, they are the 4 and 5 chords of the major key. So that would be the 4 chord of D major, the 5 chord of D major, and the 1 chord of D major. So it's not only important to know these things, it's important to be able to hear these things. And this is why my ear training course is related to my theory book. This is why I have this beginner guitar course and my more advanced guitar course, and they're all based around these principles of understanding this stuff. Not only understanding it, but being able to implement it and hear it, to know when you hear that, da, I know that note is the sharp 4 on a G chord. I can hear it instantly. I know what a sharp 4 sounds like, okay? But this ear training stuff is stuff that's developed. It takes time to go through and be able to hear what the diatonic chords are in a major key, what the diatonic chords are in a minor key. When a chord has a sharp 4 in it versus a sus2. When a chord has has a flat 9 interval, this. When you're a da, da, or ba, ba, it's hard to sing. Ba, da. That interval of flat 9, very hard to sing because you have to hear it. This is why I always sell, here's my plug, this is why I sell all the things together, because they all work together, right? The ear training, the music theory and ear training are the same thing. The theory is the way that you name things that you hear, okay? The theory part of it is being able to describe things in concrete terms to say, oh, hey, you know what? This is a 1, 4, 5, 6 in the key of D. Okay, D is the 1, 4 is G, 5 is A, and 6 is B minor. That is pretty much this entire song. It uses those chords. You have this chord. This chord here is A over B. Well, it is just the 5 chord with the 6 bass, right? So they're all in the same key, and he's basically just going. Gary's saying, buy the bundle, it'll change your musical ability. It did for me. Boom. JBM 2337, thank you. Done. I need ear training. LOL. You do need ear training. You need theory and you need ear training. You need to be able to figure out these things by ear. Not only that, I said this in my German I saw somebody in the stream was at the show in Berlin. The most important training in my life, I had my training in college where I learned what the names of things were that I knew by ear first. That was incredibly important. I couldn't have done this channel without that, okay? And then the second part of it was when I taught 12,000 guitar lessons for students, okay, in this music store here in Atlanta, Buckhead Music. In those 12,000 lessons I taught every single day, this is from 1994 to 1999, every day I had at least, 10 students a day? Yeah, 5 days a week. In those 10 lessons I taught every day, I had a cassette player, and everyone brought in different songs that I had to figure out, write down, and teach them instantly. Songs like this, songs like Nirvana, like Steely Dan, like Earth, Wind, and Fire. Everybody, like Stevie Wonder. Every student wanted to learn different songs. It was Less Than Jake. It was Melancholy. It was, punk, pop punk, Green Day, grunge, Soundgarden, Alice in Chains, Nirvana, Pearl Jam. It was Tom Petty. Everybody wanted to learn every Tom, there'd be people that wanted to learn every Tom Petty song. And not only would I write them, I said this in the thing, I would write upside down and backwards. So I would have my tape deck here. I'd listen to the song. I wouldn't even need my guitar. I'd listen to the song and I'd write from right to left and upside down all the chords. In this song, I'd go like G sus2 to D, add 4 over F sharp, A sus4, D sus4. And then I would write little hash marks for the strumming pattern of it, right? Or I would just write the picking pattern in tab. I'd write that out, and then in the chorus or in the verse, I'd write. I go down, down, up, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. I would write the strumming patterns out. I'd write any picked parts. I'd write out any melody things, and then I would teach the people to play the rhythm parts to it. So those are the 2/3 of what my channel teaches and what my courses teach. And the other thing that I do on this channel that I've taken advantage of is being a music producer. If it wasn't for my knowledge of songs and songwriting and how songs are put together, which I learned as a songwriter during the same time that I was teaching these 12,000 lessons, I was writing songs and playing in a band, which I ended up getting signed, getting dropped, and then became a music producer. I learned how to put songs together and how to record them as a recording engineer, and mixing, which involved editing in Pro Tools. The digital editing taught me how to edit video, because video editing is you use the audio, right, Tom?
Oh, yeah.
You use the audio waveforms to know where your edits go. When I say and I edit it out, I try not to say I can see a little wave that goes like that, and it should be able to recognize these things. They have programs that do that now, and it will remove the Some people I've interviewed say like so many times that I wish they had a de-liker. So, right, Tom? Tom's laughing over here. I wish we had a de-liker plugin to go with the de-ummer plugin. These simple things, this is why I sell all these courses as a bundle. Plus, it's a lot less expensive than selling the courses for, $150 a piece and stuff. And everyone is at a different level. It's the music theory thing, though, is inescapably connected to the ear training part of it, right? My theory course, my Beato Book Interactive, it's a video course with lectures and examples, audio examples that you can play, and it will explain the stuff in far greater detail than anything that was out at the time, and honestly, anything that is out now. Because I use a lot of terms that people don't use, right? Lydian triads and things like that. I still don't see these. I don't know why. I've been teaching these things for 30 years. Which would be 1 sharp 4 5. And I used to do that on my whiteboard lessons, which I'm going to get back to. I'm going to start making some whiteboard videos once we get our whiteboard back. So being able to analyze this stuff is so important. Know what notes are in the melody and how they relate to the chords, right? That is the key to everything. Once you know this, then you can start to understand what people that are great songwriters are doing and how you can do it with your own songs. The same principles applied back in 1965 as they do in 2023. A great melody follows the same principles. Now, can you write great lyrics to go with a great melody? Okay. That is, that's the trick. And honestly, great jazz melodies, great classical melodies follow all these same principles. And all the same theory applies. Theory is theory, doesn't matter what the genre is, right? That's just all, So that's it. That's the, this song, though, is a perfectly written song because it's a perfect melody. And it has perfect lyrics. It has perfect phrases. Every single section is great in it. So if somebody were to say, and this Eddie Vedder version of it, it's one of the few songs that is a Tom Petty song that I prefer Eddie's version over Tom's. And I love Tom's version. Tom's version is a half step higher than this. And when you listen to them back to back, I think that, you're like, I think I like the Eddie version of this. I need to make a video about perfect covers like this. This is a kind of an unusual thing. It's a perfect cover of a perfect song with the band playing backup to the guy singing the cover. It's kind of unusual. So Tom actually sings the bridge in the song, which is great. And then that ending is phenomenal. I just want to let me just play the ending of the song here because it's so good. Listen to this here. Okay, let me just, I just love this when he does that sustained note. Listen.
Is the hardest part. Every day, one more part. You take it on faith, you take it to the heart. The waiting is the hardest.
I get chills. Then, right here, listen. Oh! Eddie's pitch on this song is so good, it kills me. It is so good. Man. Wow. That is unbelievable. Somebody said John Mayer's version of Free Falling is real grown. That's a great version. He does a great version of Free Falling. This particular version, though, it's on YouTube. It's absolutely phenomenal. I don't know what year it's from, but I have to think Eddie's a couple years younger than me. I'd say he looks 45, 40 there maybe. So I'd say this could be 20 years ago. Maybe it was 2000. It says 2006. Okay, so Eddie's born in 64, so he was what, 42 there? Am I doing that right? That's probably right. Unbelievable. All right, so go to rickbeato.com. You can get you can find it in the description below, the link, $99 through the rest of the weekend. That's how I support the channel. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for watching. It was great to see everybody in Berlin. I look forward to going back sometime in the future. We'll talk to you guys soon. Have a great rest of your week.